To the Antarctic now, where for almost 2 weeks, ITV News has been reporting on the impact of climate change and looking at the important work of the British Antarctic Survey. Our science correspondent Martin Stew is now making his slow way back home, and en route is a famous island where Sir Ernest Shackleton's men ended up after they were forced to abandon ship. Well, Martin joins us now. And Martin, this was an unbelievable story of resilience and rescue.
Well, yeah, Charlene, they lived on the ice, drinking melted snow for nearly 2 years and also eating things like seals and penguins. It is a remarkable story. Thank goodness our journey so far has been much more plain sailing, and fingers crossed it's going to stay that way. The closer we get to the shortest day, the thicker the ice is becoming.
Can you just let us know when we're about to hit this one on the starboard bow?
Clear now, Captain.
Thank you.
The underside of the hull is shaped like the bottom of a spoon, so it can rise up and smash through the sea ice. It can't, though, smash through the icebergs they're looking out for at the moment.
This bit that's dead ahead, or fine to port, I will just give it a nudge.
We're on our way to a place polar historians will know only too well.
We're heading to Elephant Island, which, as I'm sure you know, is where Shackleton's men were famously stranded from the Endurance expedition.
That was 109 years ago. The Endurance was trapped by pack ice, crushed and sank. The crew lived on the ice for nearly 2 years before finally being rescued.
The last British research ship to spend Midwinter's Day in Antarctica was Endurance, and now here we are, and we'll be at Elephant Island on Midwinter's Day.
A lot has changed. The ship is now steel, not wood, but they still need to prepare for the worst.
So this is our starboard lifeboat. It can take ideally 45 people, but if required, we have to put all 90 people and they can all fit in this one lifeboat.
Cosy is an understatement.
We've got food, we've got water, we've got first aid up here.
All mod cons here, Luke?
Yep, we even have toilets on this lifeboat. This is our driver's seat. It's very basic and it's a little bit tight.
So you can steer this, can you?
Yeah.
And I don't think you'd fancy sailing this across the open ocean.
No, not really. No.
It's also not much use if the sea is frozen solid.
Very warm trousers or salopettes.
So if something goes wrong, all this stuff into the lifeboats, yes, or onto the ice?
Into the lifeboats or onto the ice, yes. And if we're on the ice, we've got these sledges and pulks that we can use to drag all the kits to a suitable campsite.
That includes tents.
Red one's last there.
And enough supplies to cope with -20 for 20 days. So would you guys fancy being on here on the ice?
I'm glad we've got it, but preferably not.
What have we got in the bag?
So we've got some food, we've got some custard apple dessert, some water purification tablets, we've got a shovel for the eyes.
What is this? Is this if cannibalism kicks in here?
Yeah, so that is an eyesore, but you know, it has dual purpose.
We joke, but that was the fate of the crew of the Arctic ships Erebus and Terror. It's up to Captain Will to keep us in one piece and secure his place in the history books alongside Shackleton for the right reasons. And of course, it's not just the crew who do remarkable work, it's the physical ship itself which is keeping us safe. That was built in the Wirral, so we thought it would be a nice idea to go and chat to some children from 3 schools nearby there, give them an opportunity to talk to the scientists and get a better picture of exactly what's happening down here 9,000 miles from home.
Back to where it all began, the RRS Sir David Attenborough launched just miles from the Eureka Museum here on the Wirral. Nearly 7 years on, a new generation is looking for inspiration.
It's like minus whatever temperature up there, it's like uninhabitable and they're up there, so it's quite cool.
They're doing loads of research and it could help the world in the future.
40 curious minds from 3 local schools came ready to grill Martin and the polar team with questions.
Hi, I was wondering what everlasting impacts we may witness in our near future due to global warming.
Climate change is happening, the atmosphere is going to continue warming. There'll be more extreme events, more storms, more heat waves, more droughts. We do still have the power to limit the extent that this gets to. And we do that by stopping our carbon emissions.
What's been your favourite animal to study as part of your polar research in Antarctica, and why?
On the sail over here, on one day, we got to count, I think you counted 115 humpback whales in one day. And what's amazing about that is that not that long ago, they were hunted nearly to sort of extinction by whalers, and the whaling ban came in various different times, but around about the sort of 60s to 80s, most of it. And since then, the numbers have really bounced back.
How do you go to the toilet outside of the ship when carrying out research?
Quickly, I think is the headline. On the ship here, they have what are called vacuum flush toilets. And because the ship is the Royal Research Ship Sir David Attenborough, he's recorded all the warning messages, and there is a message recorded in his voice.
Your attention, please. The vacuum toilet system is out of action until further notice.
So who knew that is what the great man is doing in his spare time?
Thanks for that, Martin. How about how you can get into science?
What interests did you have that led you to follow this type of career path?
Ever since I was little, I had a real interest in the outside world, so I'd always be in my garden, like digging things up and searching for things and wanting to understand how things worked and where things came from.
From a ship almost 10,000 miles away, the team are bringing a slice of the ice back home to the River Mersey. Sam Leader, ITV News.
Well, kids always ask the best questions, don't they? But you may have noticed the QR code has appeared on the bottom of the screen. If you've got any burning questions you'd like to ask me, we're going to do a live Q&A on YouTube, TikTok. Just scan that QR code, and in about a minute or two's time, when Mike and I have managed to scramble over to the laptop, we'll be answering questions on anything. It could be climate change, whether it's being overblown by people like me, or simply if you've got queries about the ship and our journey. I'd love to answer any of them, within reason, of course.
Thanks very much, Martin. I'll be sure to tune in when the programme finishes. Thank you.